In this video, we're going to be reviewing the VeGue or VeGue, not sure how that's exactly pronounced, but we're going to go with it, VM50 condenser microphone. And we're going to compare it against the current voiceover microphone that we use for the YouTube channel, which is our Comica that's hanging out over here. We'll have links both down in the description down below for both products in case you want to check them out. And at the end of the video, I'll give you my synopsis of, quite frankly, which one sounded better. And that's really kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for a voiceover gaming mic where we're going to be doing like streaming and stuff like that, right? So this isn't exactly a woodworking video, but it definitely does involve managing a channel, which is something that we definitely do a lot of. So on that note, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon for all of our newest videos. In the meantime, let's get to reviewing this thing. Okay, so let's talk about the VM50 for a moment. Now let's talk about what comes in the box. So you get an instruction manual, no surprise there. You get a microphone. This thing's actually fairly heavy. It's got some weight on it. Obviously this is all attached already, it's ready to go. Actually comes on a nice little mount, if you noticed. It actually kind of has an anti-vibration thing on there, so that way you don't have as much popping. That's definitely a good sign. It's a very good quality option. Not bad. And then we also get a little USB cable. Looks like Type C that we've got on there. I don't know if the camera's ever going to focus in on that. Maybe I'll focus in on me, and then I can focus in on that. All right. So anyway, so it comes with this little guy here, which is a Type C USB cable. So nothing too interesting about that. Both of these are pretty fairly matched, by the way. So the Comica is also a Type C, and it also does come with a stand. Despite the fact that I will tell you that when you're doing a lot of recording and stuff like that, you probably want to buy one of these neat little arms. They're pretty cheap. I think I paid like maybe all of $6 for this one. It's made by Fine, I think. Fine? Is that how they pronounce it? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so you can find that on Amazon. I'll see if I can put a link down below if you're looking for something like that. Both of them come with the spit guards or wind guards, as people like to say. The VeGue's way of going and muting is by just simply hitting the volume button straight on. So if you do this, you'll notice that turns red. And this gives you a visual signal of when the actual microphone is muted. On the Comica, it's very similar. It's green light, and you hit the mute button here on the side, and it turns into a red light. Either way, they're kind of loud as far as from that perspective. Here, let me put this up here. So the Comica is a little bit quieter, but ultimately it does interfere with voiceovers if you're trying to mute using the microphone while doing a voiceover. So that being said, they both have mute buttons. The VeGue is just a simple volume control, just up and down like that, where the volume control on here is here, but the gain is up here. So they say in their documentation they do have gain on theirs, but they do not actually have gain. What they actually have is volume control. So I guess they're considering that gain. But realistically, gain is here. This is what removes your hissing sound from audio. And volume, of course, is what increases the overall loudness. In this case here, this has just loudness. So not probably that big of a deal, but kind of, just a technical faux pas that they have in their documentation. That doesn't take away from the mic's ability to do what it does, though. So do keep that in mind, that that's a very mild thing. You may have a little bit more hissing on this mic that you can't remove, so therefore the clarity of the audio will still be good and clear per se, but you'd wind up having maybe a mild hiss in the background. But we'll find that out when we actually go to do the actual audio clips and test this thing in real time. And that's really about it. So we'll go ahead and get on to testing these out and see where they go. So first we're going to go ahead and test the Comica STM USB microphone. That way we can kind of see how that sounds, because any of you who've been watching the channel for a while, you probably know how our voiceovers sound when we're listening to things. Then we'll turn around and we'll do the VeGue VM50 microphone, so that way we can go ahead and test and see how it sounds doing the same basic dialogue. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon for all of our newest videos. And until next time, stay safe in the shop. Alright, so that was the Comica STM USB microphone that we use for our normal voiceovers. So let's go ahead and test the VM50 and see how it sounds. So you're going to be hearing it right now. I'm going to be hearing it after this recording. So I'll let you know what my thoughts are on there, but you can let me know what your thoughts are too. So don't forget to comment down below when we get to the end of the video. So let's go ahead and get started on this part here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon for all of our newest videos. In the meantime, stay safe in the shop. Alright, so I got to go listen to the sound clip so I can go and make my own judgment on it. But by now you've already gotten a chance to hear it, so, you know, think about what we got here, and then at the end of this I'm going to tell you which one really kind of just made it, quite frankly, which one was actually the better one sound quality wise. So we'll see. So be right back. Okay, so I got a chance to listen to both of the sound clips, and here's what it came out with. They both actually sounded pretty good. Each of them kind of had their strengths and weaknesses. So on the Comica, we had less hissing noise in the actual overall video, but the bass was a lot lower. But it seemed like the audio was a little bit cleaner and crisper, more closer to reality. More closer to basically like what my voice actually sounds like. With the VeGue VM50, on the other hand, there was a lot more bass, and there was a little bit of that hissing sound that some of you people who are audiophiles definitely can hear very clearly. For those of you that are not, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's totally fine. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this one definitely ramps up the bass in your voice and makes you sound a lot more manly per se. Where this one here, it just sounds like you. So if you're going for something that sounds a lot like you, probably pay the extra $30 and go with this. But if you want a little bit extra bass and no ability to control your gain or anything like that, which is part of the reason why the sound sounds so different, because I have mine perfectly tuned for my voice. If you want that extra bass and you don't want to pay as much, pay $30 less and go with this guy. This works perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with this. It's a great product. Its lack of controls are a little annoying, but for the most part that doesn't really mean much, because you really don't honestly have to have all those controls. So if you want to go a little bit more on the cost-effective side, this is probably a great deal for just about anybody who bought it. If I had bought this first, I may never have bought this one. I may not have ever known how good it was, quite frankly, because there really wouldn't have been a reason to change from this. So needless to say, that's a pretty good recommendation, and you got a chance to hear the actual audio files, so you know how it actually sounds. At the end of the day, this is a good product. Like I said, I'll leave some links down below so that way you can go ahead and check out the VeGue VM50 and also the Comica, because like I said, the Comica is a good microphone too, and it's what we use daily. So ultimately, I hope this helps solve any questions that you might have between the two products. And you know, if you do have any other questions or anything, feel free to leave those down below, down in the comments. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon for all of our newest videos. But you already knew that, because you've heard that now. This is like the 4th time I've told you that. So just do it. Just make it happen. You know, the majority of you don't subscribe, and you should, because you're here all the time. So just subscribe. Then you get notifications. Hey, that's cool. Then you know when the new stuff comes out. But anyway, I digress. Don't forget to stay safe in the shop, and we'll see you next time.